Hello everybody, this is your boy GMillion in the house. How's everyone doing? So I would like to start a new series on my channel. It's going to be called Retro Replay, and the focus on this series is what kind of retro games can you play on modern hardware. And I'm talking about like HD remakes or remasters mainly, because remakes are kind of completely different games. So would I be talking about games that you need the actual hardware to play? Yes, as long as it's been released on modern hardware, like the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 is how far I would go, because they have HDMI ports on the back of their system and you can play those on HD TVs, and that's how far I'm gonna go. So further ado, what game are we talking about this week? Perfect Dark for the N64, or if you want to play it on modern hardware, the Xbox One. I'm personally playing it on the Xbox One X. I got it from the Rare Replay, but you can buy it separately if you don't care about the Rare Replay. The game came out in May 22nd 2000, and it recently 20 years old. I did a 20-year anniversary stream on my YouTube channel, so go ahead and watch that. Now the game has 21 actual levels in the game, and they're separated into missions. So each mission, like the first mission, has 3 levels, but we don't keep track of it like that. We keep track of it by levels in the game. So 21 is the magic number. It's separated into 3 difficulties: Agent, Special Agent, Perfect Agent. And if you beat the game in Perfect Agent, you get Perfect Dark Agent, and you can actually have more controls on the enemy difficulty if you're manly enough to actually beat the game in Perfect Agent. Now, so if you play the game in Agent, like let's just say you go on the easiest difficulty. After the first level in the game, you're going to start getting 3 missions per, 3 objectives per level. Then if you play the game in Special Agent, you get 4 objectives in each level and less shields. In Agent, you get 2 shields per mission. In Special Agent, you're lucky to find 1 shield per level. And Perfect Agent, you get 5 mission objectives and no shields. So you really have to keep track of your shields. And the first category we're going to be talking about now in this actual review is the single player gameplay. So it's what you expect in an old school first person shooter game. If you played GoldenEye 007 for the N64, it's pretty much a more enhanced version of that, but they did bring in more like a futuristic, it's more futuristic. It even has aliens and all that. So the gameplay style is pretty much a more enhanced version of GoldenEye. So if you like the GoldenEye style gameplay and you're itching for that, play Perfect Dark, because you're not gonna go wrong while playing Perfect Dark. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You can pick up any weapon you can in the game. So like you start out with certain starting weapons in each mission. Doesn't matter if you pick up a cool weapon in the previous mission, they'll start you out with a pistol or unarmed, depending on the mission that you do. So you can pick up weapons off dead enemies, and you're gonna need that because your pistol's not gonna last you forever. The enemies are in a certain spawn point. What that means, they don't just magically spawn, they're positioned somewhere on the map, so you're gonna have to figure out where the enemy locations are. And for the most part, you are gonna notice that each enemy's in the same spot, so it's gonna help you with health management and ammo management if you know how many enemies are in each mission. Of course, if you do make a lot of noise while you're playing the game, the enemies will leave their spot and bum rush you. you do have to have a little bit of stealth, especially if you get a alarm set off on you. They just magically know where you are, so don't do that. Each mission is pretty much different. Like, you start out investigating a evil corporation, turning into a Area 51 mission, then you rescue an alien, then you have to fight in an alien war that does not make any sense. So yeah, the story, we're just going to talk about the story. The story doesn't really matter. It's just there to get you to point A to point B. So just, you can pay attention to the story if you want. It's not terrible, but it's not great. The graphics of the game, if you play on old N64 classic hardware, the game will run you at a very choppy 20 frames per second, but it can get you at 30 if you're not really trying to crash the N64. The N64 hardware itself, you will need the expansion pack, the red one. So if you do track down the N64 and this game, you will need to have that expansion pack, but you can buy an aftermarket one and that will do the trick. I have one of those in my system. So, but if you play the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One version of the game, you get 1080p and 60 frames per second. So that means no more choppiness and smooth, butter gameplay experience. And honestly, that is the way to go. And I forgot to mention this in the gameplay part of the section of this review. They actually give you modern controls. So I only know two of them off the top of my head: Duty Calls and Spartan. So if you're more of a Halo player, you can use that control scheme. If you're more of a Call of Duty player, you can use that control scheme. Now keep in mind, Microsoft owns Rare, so they can use, you know, like Halo terminology in that. And I don't know how they got a way of using Duty Calls, you know, but whatever. I'm glad that's there because I'm more of a Call of Duty player, to be honest with you. Once you're done with the single player game, you can explore the Carrington Institute. So the upstairs of the Carrington Institute is really bare bones. Your main fun is going to be downstairs in your training section and your weapons firing range. Now, on your weapon firing range, you can get either a bronze, silver, or gold star on each weapon in the game, but you actually have to pick up the weapon in single player. If I remember correctly, you don't start out with every single weapon in the game in that firing range, so your character has to at least pick up that weapon at once. Each time, there's certain objectives that you can do in the firing range that can get you old classic Gold Knight weapons. That's actually pretty cool. Now, on these single player missions, you are actually timed on these, so you can take your time, get to know the enemy placements, and get to know where the objectives are, and you can actually improve your times. And the cool thing about getting less time on certain missions, they're tied to certain cheat codes that you can unlock. So, you know, you could be the second level in Perfect Agent under a certain time, and you get a certain cheat code, or the third mission in Agent, and you get a certain cheat code. Same concept like it is in GoldenEye, but you can actually do that in Perfect Dark. Now, getting cheat codes like unlimited ammo and unlimited health are not going to be easy. They're going to be tied to some hard missions under a certain time, so just keep that in mind. We're going to talk about multiplayer now. So on the N64, if you don't have the jumper pack, you can only play multiplayer. So on the N64, you can only get local multiplayer up to 4 players, or you can, I don't remember if you can have 4 players and a bunch of bots in the game, but I know for a fact you can have 4 human players. And not too sure about the bots. We're going to talk about the bots in Perfect Dark. They're called sims. Each sim, you can have certain personalities. You know, you could have like meat sim, easy sim, normal sim, hard sim, or you can give them even more capabilities like fist sim or vengeance sim or coward sim. So like the fist sim will focus on disarming you and beating you to death, and they're just pretty much annoying. Coward sim will probably run away from you, and vengeance sim will probably go after you after you kill him. So that's actually pretty cool. You know, the bots in the game are not just tied to difficulty. You can actually program personalities into them, and most games today do not have that because the online multiplayer communities of the modern games are a lot better than they were back then. So they had to get creative when it comes to the multiplayer. I don't know exactly how many levels are in the multiplayer, but you can have some classic GoldenEye levels like the Aztec and Facility. That's the second mission in GoldenEye. Not too sure if they have Temple, but I'm pretty sure they do. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. Do I recommend playing this game in 2020? Yes. Do I recommend playing this game on N64 hardware? No. Play this game on your Xbox One. If you don't have an Xbox One and you're not a Microsoft guy, I hate to say it, you're gonna have to use emulators. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I stream on Twitch gameplay wise, so follow me on Twitch. That's gonna be GMillion2112. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/GMillion. Follow me on Instagram, instagram.com GMillion, Twitter GN2112. I haven't changed to a new Twitter handle yet, so feel free to just follow me on my social medias, and the links are in the description. Hopefully you guys have a good day. Be safe out there. Peace, homies.
She's got a gun!
Shut down the experiment.
I'll shut it down. My experiments!